too.
Alrighty.
Okay.
We'll keep it really short and sweet.
Yeah. I need to remember what the question is.
Alright.
Wait, my boobies are escaping.
Ready?
Okay, I'm ready. Let's do it.
You go.
No, you start.
Hey guys, this is Bryony and this is Lauri.
Oh,
yeah.
Eventually we'll get it.
I thought it was the other way around. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Hi guys, this is Bryony.
And this is Lauri.
And today we're going to get back to one of your questions, which was...
What is reverse dieting and why is it important to do so?
Okay, cool. So, what is reverse dieting?
Okay, so in a nutshell, reverse dieting is slowly coming out of a diet in order to prevent you from putting all the weight that you've lost back on. So you know how sometimes someone loses a lot of weight, it's great, and then this person just yo-yo back to the initial weight. That's because that person probably did not reverse diets. There is a process that we can do in order to prevent that.
So when you are dieting and you're in such low calories, we want to, of course, come out of that. You can't stay at low calories forever. Like, we have to restore your health markers, and so we want to be able to come back up into a maintenance phase. Especially if you've been dieting for a long time, then you want to maintain what you've just achieved.
100%.
You don't want to rebound, put the weight back on,
Yeah.
but you also don't want to be super low calories because you can't stay in a deficit forever. So that's where reverse dieting comes in, and then you want to spend time in a maintenance
100%.
period and
Super
literally maintain that before you even think about going into a build or anything. Like, it's overlooked and underrated to stay in a maintenance phase, but it's actually super important.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, B, but something I do with my clients, so whenever someone onboards and say, okay, my goal is to lose X amount of weight, especially if it's a person that is going to lose a lot of weight, I want this person to stay with me for at least 4 to 8 weeks, which is 1 to 2 blocks afterwards, just to make sure that I can reverse the person, and I'm 100% sure that the person is not going to put the weight back on.
Yeah, definitely, because that would just be irresponsible of us anyway. As a coach,
100%.
you want to make sure that they are learning all the right habits and given the tools to continue on and not just rebound straight after.
Yeah.
Now, if we talk about in a comp prep sense, why would you say it's super important for your reverse dieting?
I can talk about that. Well, comp prep, obviously, it's the next level. You're going to go on
it's the extreme
really
version,
low
should we
calories.
say.
You're going to go on heaps of cardio. And like that level of activity and this amount of food, if you go back to normal, your body is going to go, what is happening? And you're just going to rebound very hard, which is not something we want, because the phase post-comp is actually a great spot to be in order to start putting back muscle on. So it's very important to use that stage just to go slowly, remove a bit of cardio, increase the calorie just a bit, but make sure
It's
that
like
you
closing the gap,
It's
isn't it?
literally
It's like
going this. And on week to week you assess, and week to week you adjust, just making sure that, you know, there's no spilling over happening.
Yeah, and almost just bringing everything back into balance, homeostasis, and just being like, cool, let's restore again health markers and be in a good spot physically, mentally, in order to then perhaps change routes in what you're doing in terms of your training. Because you're not going to go straight into a build again. You're going to spend time in maintenance and all of those things.
And also something important is that, let's say you just finished your last comp and you've been thinking about food a lot. I can talk about this because I have a big history with eating disorder. It's very important that your coach is aware that you do have eating disorder, and so then he can help you and guide you.
No.
Okay. Sorry.
5 for 2 seconds. 1 moment
That was actually
later.
very funny. I need to remember now what I've said. Oh yeah. So if you do suffer from eating disorder, your coach has to know. And if you do want to go out after your last show, go for it. It's fine. Have 1 meal out. Enjoy some time with your family and friends. But then, as
Have
you
a
said
plan,
last
right?
week, it's literally going back to what you were eating in bigger portions.
Yeah, because then it's like you're not going straight to like highly palatable foods and being like, oh my god, no, which you will
know
do because
that.
you're almost like your hunger and hormone signals are all over the shop, especially because again you've been dieting for such a long time. So it's super important to adhere to that reverse process, and then you will get back to a stage where things are feeling a little bit more normal and you've got a
Yeah.
bit more control. But at that stage, everything is out of whack. So
if you don't suffer from eating disorder, but you do a comp, after the comp, it's still very important to not go crazy and to stick to the reverse. Because a lot of girls, especially girls, some guys as well, let's say you've been dieting very, very low, and then as soon as you put the food that you haven't been having for a long time in your mouth, you can create some eating disorder and be like, whoa, like it's been so long I haven't had this, and then you just binge, even though it's not something that you would usually do. So in order to prevent that from happening, stick to your reverse diet.
And if you're just Gen Pop and you've come to us, I would say just let's touch upon this very quickly. And you've been also dieting for a long time, or haven't actually spent time at maintenance or gone into a build ever, then that's something that we first of all would do, or I would do. I don't know about you, but yeah, you'd bring calories back up. So if you're used to having like 1200 calories, but really your maintenance is like 1800, then we're not going to go straight to 1800 because that might be way too much of a jump for you. But we're slowly going to increase so then we can get you at a really good point, depending on then what your goal is, whether you do decide to diet or build. You're not going to diet when you're already super low, so we have to reverse you back up, and that can be quite hard for a lot of you girls to understand, but it's super important because you've almost kind of cut yourself to this level that you can't go anywhere. There has to be a stopping point. So that's also super important and relevant point to make, I think, when you have like newbies come on as well.
100%. And I do think that a lot of the time clients would be like, oh, I don't really want to do the reverse diet because they've just achieved the body weight that they actually wanted. They're happy with the physique, and then they think that they can take over and do the things. And that's why I'm like, careful, don't ruin it, because it's very easy to ruin. So if you do have the budget to do a transformation journey, what is for 8-12 weeks extra? If it prevents you from putting the weight back on.
You would have just done all of that, not for nothing, but it almost is if you're going to just rebound.
Because the yo-yo effect happens like that, and that's why if you do have the money to do transformation journey, just invest the money to reverse diet properly.
Do it properly.
100%. And you're going to learn so much about that as well.
Done.